Welcome back to the Boot Tragedy. Sean Payton was on Fox, The Herd, Colin Cowherd's show, and he kind of talked about his situation, the Saints situation involving him and his coaching status for this upcoming season. And honestly, after watching that video, I'm 100% sure that he wants to coach football next season, which is a good thing for the Saints. He said a lot of things in this interview, and we can start off with compensation. Colin Cowherd asked him about compensation that the Saints will receive for him, and he basically came out and said that the Saints probably, are looking for a mid to late first round pick. Well, he didn't say the Saints were looking for it, but he did say that's what he thinks the Saints will receive. He says he talked to Mickey Loomis already. They're kind of have an understanding already and things like that. So, obviously, these things have been discussed. These things have been talked about. And the Saints are probably going to get a mid first round pick to a late first round pick. Maybe they can get some more depending on, what teams want him. A quick recap on the teams that want him. Denver, I think they're probably going to be the most all-in. Obviously, new ownership group. Russell Wilson, a proven quarterback over there. You have the Arizona Cardinals, who knows what's going on over there. Hopkins seems like he wants to leave. Kyler Murray's coming off a major injury. They just hired the new GM today, actually. You got the Carolina Panthers in our division, so that's definitely going to be a tricky situation. Then you have the Houston Texans, who I thought he would, not even want to go there, but he came out and said that he would absolutely love to go there. He knows the ownership a little bit. The Saints had joint practices with the Texans on numerous occasions. He said so. That's actually shocking to me that it doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to establish team, establish quarterback, because he came out and said the Texans are definitely a possibility if it comes to that. He's gonna start his meetings tomorrow. Meetings start tomorrow. I think he meets with the Broncos first in New York or something like that. He said in L.A. somewhere, but I think he's meeting with the Broncos first. That's going to be a very, very interesting one. I'm sure they're not going to want him to leave the building. They're not going to want him to leave the building. In the mid to late, conversation that basically Sean Payton said that the Saints are looking for. Honestly, in my opinion, if you can get a first-round pick for Sean Payton, that is a win. Because if he does not get signed this year, next year is going to be even worse for the Saints, because it's only 1 year remaining on his contract after that. Then you lose that control. Those 2 years you have right now, you have way more control over this situation. But if he doesn't coach this year, goes back to Fox, and he's only have 1 year remaining, then teams are probably going to just be willing to wait it out. And you're probably only going to get a third or fourth or a fifth rounder. So the Saints have to get a first round out this situation. People that think we're getting a top 10 pick and things like that, I just don't think that's happening for a coach. Not in today's game. I just doubt you can get a top 10 pick from like the Texans or something like that. Maybe the Texans, I think they have 12. Maybe that's a reach. That's kind of a early to mid first round pick. That's definitely a possibility in my opinion. But other than that, like the Cardinals first round pick that low, I just highly doubt they'll do that for Sean Payton. But you never know. You never know in these situations. He said that his two most important things were going to be ownership and quarterback in that order. So ownership first. It's got to obviously have ownership. So the price tag, for him, basically, he probably wants the owner to spend money, get creative with the cap, if they need signing bonus to sign guys, he's probably going to want that. He's probably not going to want a cheap owner. He's going to want an owner that's going to spend some money and give him a best chance to win. Obviously, all these coaches want to win, but I know Sean Payton, and I've been watching him since he's been with the Saints since 2006. He's going to want to win. He's going to want to win fast. He's not going to, want to lose. So ownership definitely has to be on board with that. That will obviously put Denver as the favorite, just because their owners are super, super rich. We've talked about the Waltons already. They're going to have the money. They have an established quarterback in Russell Wilson, even though he had a down year. They have a decent running game. Javonte Williams, he's coming off an ACL injury, but he's pretty good. You have Cortland Sutton, Jared Jeudy. So the offense has weapons. They have pieces. They have a quarterback that Sean Payton respects. Their defense has always been elite. Pat Surtain out there. So they have the best team, in my opinion. Everyone had them going to the playoffs, winning 11, 12 games this year. It just didn't work out. So if I had to guess, just off early, what everything seems like, I think Denver is probably going to be Sean Payton's number one option. Now, maybe one of these other teams like the Panthers, the Cardinals, the Texans can woo him, or maybe even woo the Saints. But I think this is going to be, basically the Saints have some say, but wherever Sean Payton wants to go, that's probably where he's going to go, and the Saints just going to have to make the situation, work to the best of their abilities. Unfortunately for us Saints fans, if he does end up going to Denver, that's San Francisco first-round pick, and by the looks of it, they look like they're not about to lose anytime soon. So that's probably going to be 28, 29, 30, 32 maybe, or 31 because the Dolphins lost their pick. So that may end up being the 31st pick. Who knows how late that pick's going to be, but we're a long ways away from that. Hopefully Houston can get in the mix. He got excited when they mentioned Houston. I was shocked about that, probably because you can basically start from scratch. You get a blank slate of basically your team. They'll probably get rid of 25 to 30 guys when Sean Payton comes in. They'll probably gut the roster, start young. Maybe gives you one year of rebuilding, find a quarterback. Maybe they find a quarterback. I know one thing, Sean Payton loves Caleb Williams from USC. He loves Caleb Williams from USC. Now, I can see him going in there, not really changing anything with Houston. Not really changing anything. Waiting a year, probably being bad again. It's going to, hurt his pride and his ego because he's not going to want to do that. But if he waits 1 year and then go gets Caleb Williams, I think that can be a possibility as well. Also, I do think that he may not even coach this year. It sounded like he wants to coach. It sounds like he's ready. He had his year off, and he's getting the juices flowing. He wants to get back out there. But like I said, he really, really likes Caleb Williams from USC. That guy's going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and he may just wait until whoever has the number 1 pick next year and say, I want to coach for them. Like, he literally may do that because he's going to want a quarterback, a guy that, can throw the ball deep, kind of how Drew Brees was early in his career with the Saints. He's going to need a guy, that can stretch the field. And he can mold this quarterback. I'm hoping at the moment that the LA teams throw their names in a hat. Maybe you get the Chargers, maybe you get the Rams. If McVay actually steps down, then that's going to make this thing so much more interesting. The Chargers are probably going to have, they lost the first round of playoffs, so about the 20th pick in the draft or something like that. That's very great conversation. He's going to have Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. So that's definitely going to be really, really good if they, come to him. I don't know if they're going to fire their coach after 2 seasons because, he's made the playoffs. So who knows what that's going to happen. But after they, blew that lead, it's very, very possible. Also, the Rams, I don't know, his feeling on Matthew Stafford, kind of an older quarterback. Their receiving core, you obviously have Cooper Kupp, but other than that, it's not really looking too bright. But their defense, you still have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, even though Aaron Donald keeps changing his bio to retired, unretired. Who knows what he's going to do. That can definitely, interest Sean Payton. And I can just see it. It's L.A. Hey, he's getting a little older, man. Who doesn't want to, be in L.A. and coach in L.A.? So I can definitely see those teams being possibilities if they show interest in Sean Payton. But right now, if I had to give a power rankings on where I think Sean Payton will land next season, I'm going to go number 1, Denver, number 2, back at Fox, number 3, the Houston Texans. That's just a guess right now. I don't have any information on that, but I just think that's what it's looking like. That's probably what it's going to be, heading toward. I can definitely see that happen. Maybe he doesn't want to go to the AFC West. I'm not saying he's scared of competition, but man, when you got the Raiders who are kind of in limbo, but they still have a good roster over there. Then you have the Chargers and the Chiefs. Maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe he wants to go to Texans because one thing he did say about the Texans, he basically said that division sucks and he's not scared of a team. So maybe I'll put Texans above Fox now that I think about that because I forgot he said that. He said that, it's just Jacksonville, the Colts, and the Titans. That basically doesn't scare him. He feels like he go in there with this Houston team and maybe year one can compete for the division. And if he does that, I know he can possibly do that. He's Sean Payton. He's a very, very good football coach. He's just going to need a quarterback. And with the number 2 pick in the draft, you'll end up with Will Levis from Kentucky if you want him, Bryce Young from Alabama if you want him, C.J. Stroud from Ohio State, who just declared today if you want him. So you can get a young quarterback to mold if that's what you want to do. So actually, I'm rechanging my power rankings to Denver, Houston, and then back at Fox. We'll see what happens. Hopefully those LA teams get in the mix, mostly the Chargers, because I think that 20th pick would be very, very good for the Saints. We'll see what happens. But he did shed some light on his future today. I do think he wants to coach, so that's a good thing. And we'll see what happens, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. As always, this is Taboo Tragedies, and I'm out.